Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we are going to go over the newest collab in the world of Monster Strike. It is Monogatari series Volume 2, an 8-year old revival of this series, who honestly did not get a true collab their first time around. And also, before I begin, I just want to make sure that I have changed up the settings of my camera and some of the positioning of the video stuff. I think you'll see a little bit more of a portrait view of myself now. Let me know if you like what you see. If you don't like what you see, be nice. And if you have any suggestions about things to change, I'm more than happy to take them. I won't be able to respond to them right away because I'll be on my way to Japan by the time you watch the video. But afterwards, I'll be sure to collect that information. So, without further ado, let's get going. The collab will last until the 30th of September. Let's take a look at the gacha monsters. We've got Hanekawa Tsubasa, Oshino Shinobu, and Senjo Gahara Hitagi in the 6-star level. And we have Kambaru Suruga and Hachiku Mayoi as our 4 5-star monsters. Rate ups are active for the individual characters, 6-star monsters. So if you want a particular one, in particular, terrible English. Just wait for that day. It's only going to be at most 2 days away before they rotate back in. Of course, at the end of the collab, you can pick any of those 3 as they will all be active. Now, you may remember that this is a volume 2, so we do have the volume 1 characters. They were not obtained by normal gacha. If you remember how that worked, it was 8 years ago. They come out with a EX bonus. Every time you do a temple, you'll get 5 EX bonus boxes. And in those boxes, you have a chance to get Hitagi in her fire form and her Oshino Shinobu in her light form, which actually Shinobu's in the same element, but I guess Hitagi switched from fire to dark in Volume 2. There's just a small chance. I don't believe I saw any percentages in game or on the site, so I think because it's a bonus and not actually a gacha, you're not paying for these gacha items. You're paying for the Volume 2 gachas. So I think that's how they get away from that. I don't know. I'm sure they know what they're doing. But it doesn't matter. These characters were not buffed at all. They are at a 5.0, which makes sense. They are 8-year-old characters that have not gotten any love this time around, which I am deeply disappointed in. I would have loved to see at least some changes to them. But also, I think I know where they're coming from because they don't want people to be frustrated in pulling for EX bonuses rather than the actual gacha, since that could this format had its own uproar back when. So anyways, let's get going. Our first gacha monster, we will start with Hanekawa Tsubasa, and she has an unfortunate rating of 6.5. And the problem here is, of course, her skill set. She does have anti-speed down panel, but she only has 2 nulls besides that, and they're not any new ones, if I remember correctly. I can try to look while we talk. Sorry, I don't have the game screen on for the PowerPoints, right? Like I said, I'm trying to shuffle around the formats structures of these videos, so sorry about that. But Hanekawa here, she only has warp and minesweeper. Yes, they are super level, but the problem is that's it, right? And because panels are not a thing quite yet, that actually means she only has 2 nulls, and having 2 nulls is just not acceptable by modern standards for Monster Strike, and so that explains why she has a 6.5. Now, don't get me wrong, once the speed down panels start to become a natural nuisance in normal quests, she will possibly find a place in the world of Monster Strike. But right now, it's simply not a character that is going to shine anywhere. There's literally no place to shine except for stages where anybody can topple over with their breath already. So that's unfortunate. You can see her strike shot stats here. Speed buff is nice, 4x, 2x, and 4x. She herself gets a decent buff as well. And her strike shot reduction is actually pretty impressive. It goes from randomly, it looks evenly, 1 through 4 on the first gear and 5 through 8 on the second. So a minimum of 5 is pretty darn impressive to see on a character. You don't see that very much. So maybe, just maybe, she will have a place once speed down panels become a thing. But yeah, unfortunately, that 6.5 is pretty rough to see. Now, on the other side of the coin, we have Oshino Shinobu, who has a 9.5 rating. And she is pretty insane in terms of her kit, right? She's got anti-gravity barrier, anti-warp, transport wall, which is a new, null. So on top of that, she also has anti-speed down wall, energy drain to help her with healing, and strike shot turn reducer with just overall a good kill kit on her. She even has attack turn killer too, so there's just a lot of things going on with her, and her strike shot is the grand command. She can move everybody on will. You don't even have to touch them, they'll just move in the direction you point, go crazy. Every time she hits an enemy, she reduces their attack strength and steals it for herself, and just buffing herself more and more and more just by hitting enemies. This is an insane kit, and it actually responds really well to a lot of hard stages. The Reizetsu quest, Embezzler, the Apocalypse Mausoleum stage, even Cortina in the Castle EX area is just ripe for Shinobu to just slash away. She is really strong. If there's a character that you chase after, it is absolutely Shinobu here. And honestly, she is going to be a great addition to anybody's boxes, whether or not you like the anime or not. So if you're on the fence, pull on Oshino Shinobu's rate up day, which I believe is today for me. So I will be doing that after this video. And next we have Senjogahara Hitagi. She has an 8.0 rating, so right around the middle, acceptable range for a collab character. Strike shot will reveal all weak point. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't even. Yeah, the set turns. Sorry, yeah, I totally missed the attack steal, right? It's 15%, right? She steals that from the enemies, and that will last for 2 actions on that enemy side, and puts it on herself, right? So she'll just keep plus 15, plus 15, plus 15, plus 15, which does get to an impressive number decently, but the second gear obviously much better. She will steal 25% instead, and so the enemies go down to 75% of their normal attack, again for 2 actions, but she will gain 25% per enemy hit. So very, very, very impressive. Just overall kit for Shinobu is pretty darn insane. Okay, now we can go to Senjogahara Hitagi here in the dark element. Her strike shot is to reveal all weak points of hit enemies, and will do extra damage to said weak points, and puts up speed up walls on all walls she touches. She's at an 8.0 rating, and she's got an interesting set here. She's got gravity barrier, damage wall, warp, and magic circle. So none of the newer nulls are here, unfortunately, but she does have a killer M with the demi-hume and samurai types, as well as having super laser stop M and killers to any Zako's mob enemies on the stage. So that's definitely interesting. Notable stages, she is a little bit limited to the Castle 5, but I did see that she does do pretty well in Castle 5, and I don't particularly like Castle 5 very much, so having another option for that stage would be pretty darn awesome. Strike shot self buff, non-existent on the attack level on the first gear, 3x speed. Second gear blows up. I thought this was a typo, but 50% buff on the second gear, plus 18 times her speed on the second gear, so make sure you wait out for that. Weak point bonus is a 2-turn versus 3-turn reveal, and the attack bonus goes from 1.5x to 2x on the second gear. And the speed up balls will last for 3 turns, one full rally between the enemies on the first gear, and 5 for the second, which means she gets another go at that when she plays. So those are your characters for the gacha, and your 4 5-star monsters, Kanbaru Suruga and Hachiku Mayoi, 7.5 and 6.5 respectively. So nothing really stand out from them, but you should just make sure you tag one in your box so that you have it for any future considerations. Fire Sisters is a very, very interesting paid pack monster. They're at a 6.5 when I'm taking this video, but their strike shot is very, very interesting, honestly. Again, this is a paid pack monster, 1,000 yen to purchase them, and to get any other bonus, starting materials for the game if you're starting out the game. Very much worth it, especially if you love the Monogatari series. Strike shot is to spend 66% of her current HP, will reduce touched ally strike shot counts, and also nullify damage walls, gravity barriers, warps, and mines. Self buff is pretty impressive, 60% on the first gear and full 100% bonus on the second gear. But what I want to bring my attention to here is the strike shot reduction. I saw the video and I was like, what? And it is pretty insane, because if you're under 51.5% of your max HP right now, you will get the bare minimum, which is a reduction of your strike shot count, max strike shot count, by 34%. Right? If your strike shot count was a total of 40 turns, that would shave off approximately 12, 13-ish turns off of that, which is impressive. But on the second gear, it will then scale to the amount of HP that you spent. And so if you are at max health, you will be spending the full 66%, which means you reduce your strike shot by 2/3 if you are at max HP. Again, that would mean if your strike shot count was 40, that would give you almost 25 turns of reduction in one shot. And I believe that should be enough to get you to the first gear of many monsters, right? Like, somebody has a heavy strike shot, they use it, you use the Fire Sisters to reduce the strike shot count, and you're basically ready to go on the first gear on the next turn, possibly. Maybe the next one after that, but it's actually pretty insane to see. So I would keep an eye on this. You might be able to do some very interesting things. Like, heavy strike shots are heavy because they are really strong, right? And to be able to basically shoot again almost on the next turn, possibly, is pretty insane. So something to keep your eye out for if you are interested in ponying up some money. Let's take a look at the event quest. We've got some ratings on game with as well. You can see them in the black box. Interesting to note that Kaiki Deishu has a 7.5 rating, which is really high for a event drop monster. So make sure you don't miss out on max lucking that character there. Although it is a 4/5, sorry, I didn't realize it was a 4/5 character. That's actually surprising, even more surprising. So that just means he's going to be really good for those rating limited quests. So sorry, I totally flipped the two in my head for some reason. Hopefully you haven't been skipping out on Yotsugi. She is your daily drop monster. 7 drops each day. Play co-op to make sure you get at least a higher chance to get 3. I actually got a 1 drop a few days ago. I didn't even think that was possible. I thought when you played co-op you would get a minimum of 2, but I actually got a single drop when I played co-op with my alt. I literally yelled out "what" when I saw that. So I guess it's possible, or maybe it's a bug. I hope it's a bug. Volume 1 monsters are also available. The 2 characters are in the library. They are at a piddly 3.0 rating, which makes sense. They are event monsters and they are 8 years old. You cannot expect them to be anywhere near usable. So it's just a novelty at this point. But of course, we'll make sure to talk about why you might want to farm a particular character in a second. Also, Hachiku, I already forgot her name, sorry. Yeah, Hachiku Mayoi. Her Volume 1 version is also available in the Metal Exchange store. You can exchange metals to get her to max luck, but of course that would just be a novelty as well, as she only, again, 8-year-old monster. She has a 4.0 rating on game. Now let's take a look at the Cho Kyukyoku quest. This time we got Sengoku Nadeko, which is a one and done type quest. This is really rare to see. I wouldn't say rare, but it's unusual to see that as our first Cho Kyukyoku quest. We see that on our second one a lot. So we'll have to see what the difficulty level is going to look like on the second time around. But once you clear her stage, you will unlock her alternate evolution form, which is the one that you can farm in the library. So that is important to note, that you are not farming this quest to max luck her, but rather you are just unlocking the evolution form. The farming goes from the library, which is going to be super easy. So enjoy, farming that stage like crazy. Strike Shot is a decent buff at 1.35 x for her attack stat, 6x speed, and she does a follow-up attack which will do 18% of the enemy's HP with a guaranteed minimum of 1.8. And I think it was like a 90% effective rate for non-boss characters. Usually it's like 2/3 or a half, but she gets 90%, which I thought was curious. But yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, is that make sure you farm the volume 1 version of Nadeko in the library to max luck, and then you shift to the stage whenever you clear her stage. There is no reason to keep the original, except if you really like the art and you just want 2 copies. That's the only reason I would think of it. You're not going to get use out of the dark version of Nadeko here. If you're going to use her at all, it will definitely be her fire version. And there is a collab mission event as usual. There are 5 sections with 5 missions each. These missions, unlike missions in the past which force you to play in order, these can be played however you want and whenever you want. So just make sure you do it eventually. Each mission clear will get you 4 copies of Araragi here, and he has a 6.0 rating, which I guess is within expectations for a reward monster. If you want to get the translations, you can go to the Discord through the QR code here. You can just take a quick shot of that, or don't worry, I do have the missions here once again as well. If you want to take a screenshot of this, pause the video, take that. But these should be also available in all the different communities, the YouTube posts, the Twitter/X on mons, and of course the Discord channel through the QR code earlier, or in the description below. You can jump to that at any time. They're pretty easy. I'm sure there's a walkover Gozetsu quest that you can clear even with Araragi on your team. So and I did see people asking, like, what, Nadeko's quest with a non-gacha monster? Only one? Yeah, only one. That's all you need. So don't worry about that. Here are your rewards. Like I said, 4 copies of each, and when you clear them all, you'll get that particular character's alternate strike shot voice and good job stamp. Login rewards. Hopefully you've got those Tokudamas ready to go. I'm ready to pull on them. And of course, during the collab, you have the pay pack monster and the mission reward monster at max luck. So that is the Monogatari series volume 2. Hopefully, if you it answers questions for you. If you had any curiosities on the characters' strike shots, it is now there for you to enjoy. Look forward to tomorrow's video, which will be the gacha of this, and we'll see if luck is on my side this time. After whatever that excuse the past few videos have been. Hoping for good luck. Anyways, if you like what you saw, do consider hitting the like button and subscribing below. Again, I am looking for comments on whether or not you like these small changes that I made here, and whether or not it even looks better at all. If it actually looks worse, I'll be a little sad, but let me know too, because I was trying to change things up a little bit. Gotta tweak things along throughout the years. mons on Twitter/X has all the news. Remember, I will be a little bit delayed in the upcoming news, which I think schedule-wise tonight. It'll be a little bit later than expected, probably since I'll be just landing in Haneda, and I will probably be watching on the train to the hotel. But do note that it will be probably a little bit delayed. I want to get food, probably a little tired. We'll see how I feel, but don't worry, I will get to it eventually. And Discord channel, link to the server in the description below. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.